Yeah, you mentioned the word physical practice. Didn't see it. Didn't feel it.
Got the great Jesse Holley, DLLS.
Yeah.
Cowboys. Dallas versus everybody, all y'all out here at Cowboys training camp. Tuesday at camp, the second to the last physical day of camp. They'll have practice pass tomorrow. Today they had pass coming off that Rams game, which they got beat up. They're down 24-6 before they had a couple of touchdowns, make it look closer than score 31-21. But what's your assessment of what you saw out here?
Yeah, you mentioned the word physical practice. Didn't see it. Didn't feel it. When you come out here in these practice fields, you want to be able to feel that energy. And I thought there was some energy out here, but and maybe this is just me, Jesse, yelling at the sun, get off my lawn. But when I think about being physical, when you're trying to change a culture and change what used to be to something new, one, it takes time, right? It doesn't happen over one mini camp, one OTA, and one training camp. But are you taking the large enough steps to get there? And I felt like physicalness needs to be an every down thing. We had a play out here today. It was 4th and 1 or 4th and inches. They threw the ball. They threw the football. It's 4th and inches. This is when you go into the huddle and you look across there and Dak or Schotty or whoever says to their offensive lineman, damn it, we need a yard.
Right.
We need a yard. Go get a yard. You threw the ball, and then you threw it, and it was incomplete.
Right.
So there's things that I'm looking at, and I'm saying, boy, these pieces aren't coming together the way I would want them to, and they're just not lining up. Right. And that's the part that I have a little bit of an issue with when I'm out here at practice. I'm saying, what are you saying on the podium, and what are you doing out here on the field?
Well, and that's what I want to ask you, because it's the balancing act of Schotty on the podium. Everybody loves him.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody says he answers our questions. He says the right things. He's funny. He's engaging. He's out for him. Everybody like, we don't know who that guy is, but he sounds good.
Man, he's the ultimate gaslighter, boy.
He sounds good.
Boy, he gaslighting and he manipulating up there on the podium, man.
But yeah, you balance what we like and what we hear from what you see.
Yes.
And it's like that game. You talk all this stuff about being physical. You open the game with 6 straight passes.
Yep.
You talk about discipline. You want energy. You make guys run and practice for fighting. And you have 11 penalties, 6 pre-snap penalties.
Yeah, the math ain't mathing. The math is not mathing, and that's the thing where I said this to you guys last week about, is Schotty showing his hand? Did he show his hand? With the way that he said, I got mad in practice and threw it. I'm like, wait, you're supposed to be the thermometer of this thing.
Calm, cool,
You're
collected.
supposed to be the one, the thermostat. You're supposed to control the temperament of the team.
Right.
You can't lose your composure.
Right.
That just shows me, and I get it, he's a first-year head coach. Though he's been around this league for a long time, it's a different when you're in that driving seat.
Right.
And so right now, I think he's still trying to find his way. He is a great communicator. That part we know, that part we understood before he got the job.
Right.
Everyone told you, if you let him talk, he's gonna convince you.
Right.
But now I'm because I'm a talker.
Right.
So you can't BS a BSer.
Right.
You can't smooth talk a smooth talker. So now that I'm looking past the words and more at the actions that are happening out here in the football field, Schotty he got to do less talking to me and more action to the things that he's saying.
We were at premiere of Jerry's Netflix special Monday night, and we talked about the excitement of the Netflix fight. It's going to be a great special.
It is.
You have a legion of Cowboy fans who are going to fall in love with the Cowboys over again, but then you're going to watch them play.
Yeah.
And how do you balance what you saw last night and reminiscing about the 90s Cowboys? And that's a whole documentary about the last 30 years, but really about the 90s Cowboys and how Jerry came to own the team and built that dynasty to what we've seen the last 30 years and how that manifests itself with this team that coming off a 17 season, new coach. How do you balance that?
You live in reality. You live in reality and you go, hey, when I go to the movies, when I go home and I Netflix and chill, I get enthralled into that scene. But then when the movie goes off, I go back to the real world. Like, I'm not living in La La Land. What we watched last night, which was absolutely phenomenally done, is not reality. It was a moment in time and a moment in history that we can relive. It was done so well, exceptionally done. But that ain't reality. You can feel through watching that the realness of those players, the commitment, the accountability, just the all-out different type of dudes that was in that area, that era, they don't match this energy.
Right.
So you balance it by living in reality. You balance it by understanding what we were is not what we are.
Right.
And you have to know that we can watch that and relive that and then have the memories from that. But that is so far from what we are today.
Well, the Cowboys will play their second preseason game on Saturday. Home preseason opener against the Baltimore Ravens. They will get physical, and they will have to meet that physicality. Of course, we're about 3.5 weeks away from the opener against the Eagles when reality will set in.